Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. Today we got the 2018 pay-per-view collection. So we finally got TLC the other day. Let's do these collection video here. I do have the custom WrestleMania in there, so if you guys are interested in that, I did a separate video. I did review all these on their own as well, so let's get into this, guys, with Royal Rumble 2018. So here we got Royal Rumble 2018 with the first ever women's Royal Rumble match, as well as Ronda Rousey's debut. The women had a great match here. I wasn't impressed with Lesnar, Strowman, and Kane. Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura were the winners. We had really bad disc art throughout this year. Cool John Cena. I did just drop this and it broke, so really bad disc art throughout the year. There's a shot of the back. Really cool. So most of the pay-per-views for this year are 2 discs. As you'll see with Fastlane and Chamber. 2 solid shows. Overall, we had a 7-man Chamber and the first ever women's Chamber. Again, pretty bland disc art. You know, red and blue or red and black. But I like this style better. If they're not going to do the insert, this style of case works a lot better. So we had a pretty good 6-pack challenge for the WWE title. Usos versus New Day. We also had the Ronda Rousey contract signing. 2 solid shows. Next up here is the WrestleMania Digipak. It also comes with a slip. So I just put the American or Canadian Blu-ray in here, as well as the Takeover. Swapped out the inserts. So here we go. It's actually a really nice set. Taker, Cena. There's your bonus Takeover. For those who haven't seen it, I'll show you now quickly. AJ Styles. Charlotte. And here's the back with Roman Reigns. Really cool. So this WrestleMania was decent. It wasn't, you know, one of the best of all time, but it had its moments. Triple threat for the IC title. Charlotte versus Asuka. Fatal 4-way for the US title. The mixed tag match, which was awesome. Triple threat match for the SmackDown tag. Cena versus Taker. We had Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Owens and Sami Zayn. Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, Styles and Nakamura. The Raw tag match, which I'd like to forget about. And Lesnar, Roman Reigns. This is the only WrestleMania since 2004 not to include the Hall of Fame ceremony, which I wasn't happy about. So there we have that. Next up is the Greatest Royal Rumble. Decent event, 50-man Rumble. Again, pretty bland disc art. This was again a controversial show from Saudi Arabia. I really like that green belt. We had Taker, Rusev in a casket match. Triple H versus John Cena. Lesnar, Reigns in a cage. Styles and Nakamura. Looks like a ladder match for the US title, I believe. Overall, it was a decent show again. This early part of 2018 wasn't the greatest. And then going to Backlash, they ended the, brand exclusive pay-per-views here. This was an awful show. I remember a lot of people hating on this. Roman Reigns versus Bobby Lashley just stunk. Styles and Nakamura, Bryan versus Big Cass. I mean, this show stunk. Bright spot was Seth Rollins as IC champ. And I believe this is where Bliss cashed in. Or, no, that'd be later, right? Finally, Money in the Bank, I believe, was a pretty good show overall. Step in the right direction as far as creative was concerned and putting a show together here. As far as the title scene went, Lesnar was MIA as champ, and AJ Styles, they weren't putting the WWE title in the main event. So I absolutely love this cover. Again, 2-disc set, very bland disc art. But once again, Styles and Nakamura, last man standing. We had Carmella as women's champion. Alexa Bliss, I believe, cashed in here with Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. Decent show overall. Oh, Strowman won Money in the Bank. That Monster in the Bank, I wasn't a fan of that either. Extreme Rules is a toss-up, but overall a pretty solid show. Better disc art here, it's not just the, black and red or something poor like that. It's like we had Ziggler, Rollins in that Iron Man match, which wasn't good. Strowman and Owens in the cage. Nia Jax versus Alexa Bliss. Ronda Rousey there. Oh, this was Reigns and Lashley here. I thought they did that at Backlash. It might be wrong on that. Unless they did it twice. So they swapped out Extreme Rules, which is usually earlier in the year. That was in July. And then SummerSlam. These are the let's get everyone on the covers. Just looks crazy. We could have done without half of that. Lesnar here finally dropping the Universal title. And here's the thing. With these big 2-disc sets, we definitely need inserts. Especially with these bigger shows, 2 discs. Once again, I believe we had Rollins and Ziggler. Ambrose had finally returned. Roman Reigns finally wins the Universal title. Seeing the Demon was awesome. Rousey winning the women's title. This was a pretty good SummerSlam overall. One of the better shows of the year. Then we get to Hell in a Cell 2018. We had the new Red Cell, which still really don't have an opinion on it. Really good disc art. But I thought this show was great. And then the main event happened. Strowman cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase inside Hell in a Cell. Lesnar interferes, and it goes to a no contest. That's definitely a first. But overall, I thought Hardy and Orton had a hell of a Hell in a Cell match. We had Charlotte and Becky here for the SmackDown Women's title. That was the beginning of this. Actually started at SummerSlam, right? Becky and Charlotte. And Super Showdown, the show from Australia. Thought this was good. Pretty solid show. They ended the year on a high note. They definitely did. The show started out kind of shit, and they turned that chicken shit into chicken salad. Nothing really significant happened here. Triple H versus Undertaker one last time. We had the return of Cena, Rousey, and the Bellas. Samoa Joe versus Styles, which I thought was good. Again, high hopes with Nakamura and Samoa Joe, who both could have been WWE champion. They both won the U.S. title, though. It says something. Also in October, WWE had its first all-women's pay-per-view, Evolution. Really good show overall. One of the best women's matches of all time. Becky versus Charlotte, last woman standing. This was really the peak of Becky's popularity here. And if they don't turn it around here coming up before Mania, they really got to... they really dropped the ball with it. This was a decent show overall, but Rousey versus Nikki Bella, I'd pass on that. You had Trish and Lita return. Overall, solid show. And last two here, Survivor Series. Good show. Two main events, really dug it. Lesnar Bryan and Charlotte Rousey was awesome. And this is where the whole Becky getting injured thing happened. So I don't think we had too many tops cards either, with a lot of them. But again, pretty bland discard. This whole thing with Raw sweeping SmackDown was just crazy. But the card was decent from top to bottom. Really enjoyable show. And finally, TLC 2018. Great way to end the year. Pretty solid show. Not a big fan of this cover, but I think the two main events really delivered here. The women's TLC match was awesome, and Styles and Bryan really liked that. Ambrose and Rollins went in cold. And we got another Seth Rollins card. So Asuka finally wins the women's title. Strowman returns in a poor effort. This was a fun show. Let me know your thoughts, guys. There we have a 2018 pay-per-view collection. Not the best year from WWE, but you know, they recovered towards the end of the year with 3 or 4 great shows in a row. As always, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on some of these shows. We'll talk to you later. Peace.